Breaking news! Today's video will be very objective, but I need to bring you these 3 pieces of news. Unfortunately, one of them is not good, and now we need to look ahead and wait to see what the coaches will do. The Ravens are preparing to face the Philadelphia Eagles, and without a doubt, this is one of the most anticipated games of the year. 2 powerful teams, full of talent, facing each other at a critical point in the playoff race. If you believe the Ravens will win this game, hit the like button hard. If possible, write something like, "Go Ravens! Let's go to the Super Bowl." The stakes are huge, and with the game scheduled for the 4 p.m. window, the entire football world will be watching. There are 2 elite quarterbacks, 2 strong running games, and defenses ready to prove who is stronger. But as we get closer to this matchup, the Ravens are navigating a mix of good and bad news. First, the bad. Kyle Van Noy, one of Baltimore's top sack producers alongside Odafe Oweh, is dealing with a neck injury. This couldn't come at a worse time, as Van Noy's impact on the defensive line has been undeniable. Coach John Harbaugh described him as indecisive, leaving fans anxiously awaiting updates. Losing Van Noy would be a significant blow against an Eagles team known for its dominant offensive line. But that's not all. The Ravens are also without Charlie Kolar, their number 3rd tight end who broke his arm. While Kolar may not grab the headlines, his contributions have been essential, especially in the running game. He's the type of player who opens up lanes and makes key catches in crucial moments, as we saw against the Chargers and Bengals. With Kolar out, the Ravens will rely heavily on Mark Andrews and Isaiah Probable to carry the load at tight end. On the brighter side, there's a major boost for the Ravens' defense. Roquan Smith, who missed the last 2 games, is back. After being sidelined with a hamstring injury, Smith returned to full participation in practice this week. His presence couldn't be more critical, as he'll be tasked with helping the Ravens contain Saquon Barkley, who's having a monster season. Barkley, coming off a 200-yard game, leads the NFL in rushing, and the Eagles' offensive line is one of the best in the league. Smith's return adds a layer of confidence to the defense, especially in a game expected to be a slugfest in the trenches. Speaking of physicality, this matchup promises to be one for the ages. The Ravens and Eagles both excel at running the football and stopping the run, setting the stage for a collision of styles. Odafe Oweh made it clear, "The Ravens aren't backing down. Our mentality doesn't change," he said. "We take it to them." The AFC North's gritty style of play has prepared Baltimore for games like this, where toughness and resilience are the keys to victory. The Eagles have bullied many teams this season, but the Ravens are not the type to get pushed around. This is a clash of 2 juggernauts, and something's got to give. Lamar Jackson is stepping into this game with everything to prove. The Eagles' defense ranks number 1 in the league in yards allowed per game, and they're top 10 against both the run and the pass. But if there's one thing we know about Lamar, it's that he thrives against the toughest opponents. This season, the Ravens have already faced and outperformed some of the league's best defenses, putting up big numbers against the Chargers and Broncos. The Eagles' defense, led by standout players like Jalen Carter, Darius Slay, and an imposing front 7, presents a unique challenge. But, as Lamar put it, explosive defense, great corners, great safeties, but we're ready.
The stakes are even higher when you consider the MVP race. Lamar Jackson is firmly in the conversation, and this game could be a defining moment for his campaign. Some in the media, like Ryan Clark, are framing this as the Lamar Jackson MVP game, a chance to prove he's playing the best football in the league. The narrative? Lamar has the opportunity to outshine an Eagles roster that many consider deeper than the Ravens. It's about stepping up in the biggest moments and reminding everyone why he's one of the NFL's most electrifying players. But the MVP talk doesn't end there. A win here would elevate Lamar's case for not only a 3rd MVP, but also solidify his legacy as a generational talent. Fans are eager to see him rise to the occasion, leading the Ravens against a team loaded with stars like A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, and Saquon Barkley. The game isn't just about stats. It's about proving that Lamar Jackson is the difference maker, the player who can tilt the balance no matter the odds. Let's pause here for now. This game is shaping up to be an all-out battle, and we've only scratched the surface. Stick around, because there's even more to break down as we dive deeper into what makes this matchup so compelling. What are your thoughts so far? Do you think Lamar can deliver an MVP-level performance and lead the Ravens to victory? Let me know in the comments, and stay tuned for the next breakdown. The Baltimore Ravens are hitting a crucial point in their season, with December football marking the final stretch before playoff time. At this stage, the stakes are clear. Teams are either gearing up for a postseason push or packing up for the offseason. Injuries, as always, loom large, threatening to derail even the most promising campaigns. Yet, for the Ravens, the story is taking an intriguing turn. They seem to be getting stronger when it matters most. Let's dive into what's happening with this roster and why fans should feel optimistic about the team's playoff readiness. First, it's important to acknowledge the unfortunate news. The team will be without Charlie Kolar for about a month. Losing a key player like Kolar is never ideal, especially as the playoff race heats up. However, the Ravens are uniquely positioned to handle such setbacks. This week alone, they welcomed back critical pieces like Roquan Smith, who had been sidelined with a hamstring injury, and Michael Pierce, whose return from injured reserve is a significant boost to the defensive line. Pierce's presence doesn't just strengthen the line, it also alleviates the pressure on Travis Jones, who's been battling an ankle issue. With Pierce taking on more snaps, Jones can finally get the rest he desperately needs. But that's not all. The Ravens' recent acquisitions are starting to pay dividends, and the roster is showing its depth. A little over a month ago, the team brought in Keaton Mitchell, who has yet to make a major impact on offense but represents another versatile weapon at their disposal. Similarly, the addition of Deontay Johnson hasn't fully clicked yet, but there's a sense that he's trending in the right direction. Then there's Tre'Davious White, whose performance since joining the Ravens has been nothing short of impressive. Initially dismissed as a gamble, White has earned his snaps and shown he's a valuable asset in the secondary. This week also saw the Ravens sign Desmond King, a move that speaks volumes about their ability to rejuvenate players' careers. Baltimore has developed a reputation as a team where players, especially cornerbacks, can find new life. It's yet another example of the Ravens building a roster that's both talented and deep. Adding to this, they've activated rookie T.J. Tampa, a player they've been particularly patient with. Despite Tampa dealing with injuries, the team's decision to designate him for return from injured reserve highlights how much they value his potential contribution, not just in the future but right now. The timing of these reinforcements couldn't be better. With a high-stakes game against the Philadelphia Eagles on the horizon, the Ravens are poised to showcase their improved roster. This Sunday's matchup is more than just another game. It's a statement opportunity. Baltimore is on a redemption tour after last year's disappointing playoff exit, and a strong performance against a top-tier opponent like the Eagles could solidify their status as serious contenders. The Ravens have made it clear they're looking for revenge this season, and their recent moves suggest they're willing to do whatever it takes to get there. Of course, no roster is perfect, and questions remain about certain positions. Fans are already debating whether Keaton Mitchell should take on a larger role as RB2, replacing Justice Hill. While Hill has excelled in that position, some argue that Mitchell's explosiveness could take the offense to another level. There's also ongoing concern about the offensive line, particularly with players like Daniel Falele, who has faced criticism for being too slow and ineffective. These are valid concerns, but they highlight the passion and high expectations of Ravens fans as the team pushes toward its ultimate goal, a Super Bowl victory. As the Ravens prepare for the Eagles, the stakes couldn't be higher. This game is not just about securing another win, it's about proving that this team has learned from its mistakes and is ready to dominate in January. The roster's newfound strength, combined with the team's determination, sets the stage for a thrilling end to the regular season. What do you think, Ravens fans? Are you feeling confident about the team's direction? Let us know in the comments.